Hi, boys and girls. We are going to do a lesson in social studies about how Louisiana has changed over time. We will describe how people have changed the land to meet their basic needs over time in upcoming lessons, and we will also describe how humans affect the environment of Louisiana. But today we're going to describe a little bit of Louisiana and how it's changed over time. We are specifically going to concentrate on Metairie and New Orleans. But before we do that, we're going to review a little bit of what we talked about previously in class. Remember when we talked about the Louisiana Purchase? We talked about how huge Louisiana was and how President Jefferson wanted to purchase Louisiana to add more land to the United States so that people can move there and start a new home. That was long ago, and this was the Louisiana Purchase. It covered almost half of the United States. Remember we talked about that? Well, today, this is what Louisiana looks like. It's much smaller, has less land. However, does have one important thing that they all were arguing over. If you remember that, it was the Port of New Orleans. So what Louisiana is today, let's go back to that slide. What Louisiana is today contains the Port of New Orleans. So we still have the Port of New Orleans, which is a very, very important port. Important port to the whole entire world. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about that port. This is a map from 1903 of New Orleans, 1949 of New Orleans, and 2009 of New Orleans. You can see in 1903 the map looks very different from what it does today. In 1949 you can start to see some of those changes. So this is exactly what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about the changes that you see from long ago and today. So we are actually comparing and contrasting all of these maps. Let's take a look at Metairie in 1903, or the Port of New Orleans in 1903. I see lots and lots of swamp, all swamp. I see some canals where this blue water is. I see the Mississippi River. This is the city of Jefferson and the city of New Orleans. All of these are little roads. I don't see any, I see on the road, I don't see any major highways. I look at 1909. Oh, I see way more roads. I see Veterans Boulevard. I see a causeway going across this Lake Pontchartrain. I still see the canal and another canal. Wow. What's happening to those swamps? There was a swamp here. I don't see it here. I see lots more roads and highways. This road doesn't even go all the way through now. I see some main highways. Veterans Boulevard, Causeway, Airline. Look at all these roads. Look at all these roads here. Wow. Oh, let's go back and let's look at the river. Look at the river. The river has even changed. Here, small and narrow. Here the curve is way wider. Let's look at 2009 now. I no longer see any more swamps. Wow. Where's that canal? Oh, here's the canal. Look at these main interstates and all these highways, all these roads. I don't see any swamp any longer. I hardly see any land, except for here. It looks like a big park, city park. Okay, so I just talked through some of the things that we noticed in the maps from the Port of New Orleans in 1903, 1949, and 2009. Some questions that we're going to ask ourselves and that you will answer on the Google form are: what has happened to the shape of the Mississippi River over time? What has happened to those swamps over time? What do you think has happened to those swamps? Why do you think Metairie is changing? And what impact do you think this will have on the environment and animals in the area? Okay, so we'll stop here and you're going to do your Google form and we're going to do some more lessons on how Louisiana changed over time.